G'day everyone, my name's James Folino and I'm here to bring you another edition of the Gold Coast auction and property sales results. This week we'll be going through the week of Monday the 27th of September up until Sunday the 3rd of October. And we will, like we do every week, we're going to go through some properties that were priced below that 750 mark, and then we're also going to go and look at properties above that. We try and stick to 10 with houses with a land component, as that's where we see most value. So what I'll do, like every week, we'll start off and we'll go through the auction sales results. So let me just share my screen for you. I can do that here. Okay, so we're going to start off and have a look at these results that we do every week. Last week, Victoria was quite low with its auctions. But this week it's been ramped right back up. So it actually had more results available than Sydney. Both Victoria and New South Wales, even with the amount of auctions they've had, they've got some really strong clearance rates happening. And they are really looking, once their lockdowns end, I feel that they're going to be really strong with results and also price points as well. But we're here to focus on Queensland and we're going to have a look at that now. As you can see, Queensland, it's showing an 82% clearance rate. We're going to click on the results. If you just have a look to the right of my screen here, there's a figure there that says there was 337 scheduled auctions, but we've only got results for 131. Of those 131 with the results, there was 106 sold at auction and one prior to. So you can see there's we've got results 107 out of 131, giving that clearance rate of 82%. But I'm also interested to know the other scheduled auctions, what's happened to those properties, and if that clearance rate is slightly inflated. I'm not exactly sure on that, but that's something that we can look at in the coming weeks. The big one for Queensland is the non-auction sales. So as you can see, 1,465 non-auction sales. If we jump back here, it shows that Queensland sales volume was about 1,650. Victoria right back up there, nearly on a par with New South Wales at 21, just over 2130, and New South Wales is at 2160. So Queensland's now dropped back into third place. Okay, so let's have a look at some of these results, and we'll go through. These are some Mermaid Beach. This is a beachside suburb. As you can see, these are showing the auction properties. There was an apartment that sold for $2.5 million in Petrol Ave, and then there was another townhouse style passed in. If we look at the next one, we've got Mermaid Waters. There was an auction there for a property that sold at 1.63. Let's have a look at Miami. So Miami had a few auctions again, most selling under the hammer. There was one passed in. That property that was passed in is also just behind a service station, so that could be the point. Next one is Burley Heads. Burley Heads again, all properties sold. Let's have a look at Burley Waters. Again, all properties sold at auction. Broad Beach Waters, there was a couple passed in, one quite an expensive home. And let's have a look. Broad Beach, there was a unit that was passed in. But you can see that there's some strong results, especially for those beachside suburbs. Here's one in Paradise Point. Again, both selling at auction. So you can see that, and even Palm Beach for that matter, everything sold at auction. So those beachside suburbs, we're talking 1 kilometre from the water, they are still showing some very strong results, especially at auction. Okay, so we're going to get into it now. This is the first property we're going to look at. This was at 5 Stretton Drive in Helensvale. This was a 4-bed, 2-bath with 4-car accommodation home. This home has a pool. It was brick and tile. This was in Helensvale. And this home here sold for $648,888. It's been listed back on the internet already for rent, and it's got a rental asking price of $750 per week. The land size on this block was 713 square meters, and from the picture you can see that there is a dual driveway, so one driveway on the left and one driveway on the right. So anyone who's got a caravan or a boat, something like this would be ideal. We're going to move along to Labrador. We've got this property here. This was at 165 Government Road. This is a renovated house. Could also lend itself to development in the future. Has been updated. 4-bed, 2-bath with 2-car accommodation. Block size was 506. And this home here sold at 665. We move a little bit inland for this one. This is in a suburb called Merrimack. This was at 7 Scotia Place. This was on a sort of a smallish block of land, low maintenance block, 423 square metres. It was a clean home, ready to move into. And this one here in Merrimack sold at 720,000. We're going to stay a little bit inland. We're a little bit further north. This is in Pacific Pines. This was a 4-bed, 2-bath with 2-car accommodation home. As you can see, it's brick and tile. It's lovely, pretty much ready to move into. This was on 795 square metres of land, so good sized block. This is, they paid $660K for this, and the estimated rental return on this one is $550, but potentially it could get a bit more than that, I think. Okay, we're going to move on. We're going to move to Narang. And the next 2 properties I'm going to show you, because they're in the same street. One was at 184 Dugandon Street, and the other one was at 185 Dugandon Street. The first one is this one. This was a 3-bed, 2-bath, 4-car home with a pool. As you can see, it's been renovated, really nice, ready to move into. And this one here was on 849 square metres. And this one, brick and tile, this one sold at 769. Now, the one next door, or the one across the road, is this one. Again, brick and tile with a pool. So very similar home. Did have 1 extra bedroom. But from that picture there, you can see the land size on this home. So the first one was at 849 square metres, and that sold for 769. This one was on 1,308 square metres, and this sold for 880. So if you looked at the two, one of them had about 450 to 500 square metres more of land, but it only went for 111,000 more. So definitely better buying on the bigger block. Okay, that's enough of the under 750s now. So we're going to move along, and we're going to move on to the higher priced properties. This one here was in a suburb called Parkwood. As you can see the Gold Coast and the skyline and the high rise from this picture. So it's a little bit inland in Parkwood. We're at 48 Peter Thompson Drive. This was a brick and tile home. This was on a big block of land, 1,057 square metres. It was a big home, 4-bed, 3-bath, 2-car comm. It was 31 squares internally, has a pool, double story, backs onto a golf course. And this home here on 1,057 square metres, this sold for 1.11 million. Next one we're going to look at, we're going to go, and we went there last week, and this is an area that I believe has not moved in price for the last 5 to 10 years. It's been really steady. This is in Southern Islands, quite an exclusive area of the Gold Coast. This was at 20 The Peninsula. This is a waterfront home. As you can see, double story, beautiful home. This was on 863 square metres with a pool. The Southern Islands have 24-hour security as well, so really good security there. 5-bed, 3-bath home, really palatial kind of home. And this home here, let's have a look at the square meterage if we've got it. Yeah, so under roof, there's about 43 square metres, which is, again, big home. This sold 2.3 million. Next one we're going to look at is in Paradise Point. This is at 84 Oxley Drive, Paradise Point. This is a waterfront home. It's got an 18-metre water frontage plus a 10-metre pontoon. It was on 641 square metres. It's brick and tile. It's got solar, has a swimming pool, 4-bed, 2-bath, 2-car accommodation home. I'm just going to take you back to this picture. As you can see, the road, Oxley Drive, 84 Oxley Drive is where it's at. It is a little bit busy, this road, and that's probably come out in the sale price. This waterfront home sold 1.2 million. Next one we're going to look at is this superb home here. This was at 3 Barata Street in Southport. This home was on 1,277 square metres. As you can see, it definitely did lend itself to developers. This home here land value, sold for $1,075,000. Again, I did a bit of further research. The zoning on this property is only one dwelling per 600 square meters. So it's only a duplex site. And by the time you add in stamps and so on, they've paid about $550,000 per duplex site. So unless the council is rezoning in the near future in Southport, they've paid a fair bit for the land on this one. Next one we're going to move into is this one here. This is back into the centre of the Gold Coast. We are on the Isle of Capri, a great little island. This one here is at 64 Amalfi Drive. This had a pool, it's waterfront, and the bonus is that it's got a really lovely park on your right-hand boundary. 592 square meters, 4-bed, 2-bath, 2-car home, the nice little plunge pool there. You've got beautiful views, skyline views, and again, you've got that private, as you can see, this whole area, private area of parkland. This one on Isle of Capri, 1.75 million. We move along to Mermaid Waters. We've got another waterfront property. This was at 64 Wild Duck Drive, 811 square meters. It's a brick home. It's got a lovely cathedral ceiling and lovely internal brickwork, 5-bed, 3-bath, 2-car. It's even, if I show you the plan, so you can see it, beautiful inside, ready to move into, great pool. You can have a look from the floor plan that this may have been a double garage in the past. They've put a carport out the front and they've turned that garage into what they've called a multi-purpose area, but that could lend itself to a separate self-contained apartment and a separate income. We move along. We've got this one here in Nobby Parade. This was at 33 Nobby Parade. It was a 3-bed, 1-bath, 2-car home. There are no internal photos of this property. Normally, when there's no internal photos, it means the property was sold as a development site. This property here is duplex zone, so we can put 2 on it. It's 599 square meters, walking distance to the water. This sold at 1.54 million. Add in your stamps, and they've paid about 800,000, if not a little bit more per block. Okay, next one we look at is this one here in Cypress Drive in Broadbeach Waters. It's a little bit inland. Again, this one here's got a swimming pool. It's a single level home. It's 4-bed, 2-bath, 2-car home, 600 square meters of land. And this one here sold 1.1 million. The next one we look at is this one here. This is in the center of Broadbeach, not Broadbeach Waters, but this is beach side of the highway. This is at 23 George Street, 516 square meters. It was a 4-bed, 2-bath, 2-car home, but this home would definitely have been sold to developers. That area of Broadbeach has an unlimited height limit, and the zoning by the council is 1 bedroom every 13 square meters. So this property can have up to 73 bedrooms on an unlimited height limit, sold at 2.4 million. We're going to move along. We're going to move just a little bit inland into Broadbeach Waters. This was a good buy-in. This was at 8 Chance Street in Broadbeach Waters, 531 square meters, little plunge pool, original home. As you can see, not a bad size there. It's a 4-bed, 2-bath, 2-car. It's got a garage, it's got lovely alfresco areas. And this one at 8 Chance Street sold for $1,040,000. We're going to move along and we're going to look at this home. So this is an interesting one. This was at 80 Cottesloe Drive in Robina. It was at 800 square meters, 4-bed, 3-bath, 2-car home. It was purchased in May, at the end of May, so nearly June, for $1,023,000. I'll click on the next picture, and this home, same home, was sold for $1.106 million on the 30th of September. So they've held this home for about 3-4 months. They would have had to pay agents' fees and also stamp duty. So I'd say that the people that tried to flip this property probably just broke even. At the moment, there is a lot of people that purchased last year that are flipping their properties this year, and we're seeing a lot of volume of properties that are being sold within 12 months of buying. For this person, they didn't make as much as others. Okay, let's move along. We're going to move to the next one. We're going to go to Chugan. So we've got this double-storey home at 5 Dilgarra Road. This was on not sure the block size of this one, but it's a lovely home. It's got a swimming pool. This one, let's have a look at it. It was 4-bed, 2-bath. It's 500 metres to the beach. They've set an estimated rental return of $950. This sold for $1.351 million. Chugan is going through the roof. The only thing that you may need to consider is that Chugan is directly in the flight path and the planes fly over quite low. Okay, we're going to move along. We're going to go to this one here, Palm Beach. We've got 43 Tahiti Avenue. This was 3-bed, 2-bath, 3-car home on a 500 square metre block, which is great for Palm Beach. As you can see, beautiful home, well renovated. And this home here in Palm Beach, you've got some water to look at as well, which is fantastic. This sold for $1.86 million. We've got a couple more to go. We've got this one in in Burley. This wasn't on the market long. This was great buying, probably the buy of the week. 600 square metre block, 4-bed, 2-bath, 4-car accommodation home, double-storey brick veneer with tile roof. The last one that I remember selling sort of in a similar area like this was just under $2 million. And this home here, again, great buying, $1.425 million. Another one that we've got in Burley Waters, this is a 4-bed, 2-bath, 2-car on-water home with a swimming pool. This was at 38 Dunland Drive, big block of land, 840 odd square metres, renovated home. This sold $1.87 million. The last home that we're going to look at close to the water is this one here. This was at 734 Pacific Parade in Carrumban. This was on a large block of land. As you can see, it is a palatial home. It is I think it's been newly built as well. It's got a substantial amount of bedrooms. Look, we can go to the floor plan so you can see it. It's over 4 or 5 levels. It's got a separate self-contained apartment there as well. And this home overlooks the stunning water and Elephant Rock that you can see in that picture. And this one here sold for $5,005,000. And that's what you're looking at from that home. So you can see from the floor plan, you've got a ground floor with a pool and cars. You've got your main area with your bedrooms. You've got your main living area on the next floor up, which is the 3rd level. On the 4th level, you've got this another bedroom, and then you've got your guest suite. And the last 2 properties that we're going to look at, we're just going to look at quickly 2 farmland properties. We've got this one here in Tambourine Mountain. This one here sold at $1.2 million. This was just under half a hectare. It was a 3-bed home on it, 1 bath with 2-car accommodation. This home had substantial fruit trees, citrus, avocado, mulberry, guava. There was over 17 varieties of fruit trees, had bees as well. So anyone wanting that a little bit out of the Gold Coast, beautiful feel, rainforest kind of home, here it was, $1.2 million. And the last one we're going to look at is this one, which is in Benogan. This was at 42 Aylesham Drive. It was a huge home. It had a separate granite flat, 5,000 square metres, brick veneer, swimming pool. Again, plenty of accommodation for cars, 57 squares, built in 1993. And this home here sold for $1,475,000. So as you can see, there is still a lot of activity on the Gold Coast. The prices are still increasing. If you need any assistance with looking for your properties, please don't hesitate to give me a call. More than happy to help you. Until next week, good luck with your property hunting, and I'll see you then. Thank you.